Stories of capitalism from business, markets, economics, tech, and climate. More than what you need to know, it's what you need to think about.
This is Bloomberg Open Interest. I'm Matt Miller. Quick check on stocks right now, about 25 minutes into the session. You're going to see a lot of red here, but it's not so bad, right? S&P 500 down, but only 0.1% of 1%, 69.24, the level there. The NASDAQ also down by just about as much, still over 25,000 on the NASDAQ. You see the small caps falling further in Bitcoin, back down to under 70,000, so $69,345 a share. Take a look at NVIDIA right now, up 3.5%, so that's holding us back from steeper losses. Oracle, as we've been talking about, up almost 10%, a 9% gain here on Oracle after an analyst upgrade. And of course, it had such a successful week last week. Hims and Hers is down. It's lost a quarter of its value now that it won't be able to, or now that it's pulled the pill version of its copycat Wegovy drug. Novo Nordisk bouncing back about 6%. You can see Apollo right now up 3% on earnings and a couple of announcements, one of which is with a team up, a partnership with Schroders, and then Kroger, which we're going to talk about right now, up 7% and change, Danny, on a new CEO.
So that new CEO, it's a retail veteran named Greg Foran. Let's discuss it because he comes from Walmart, and clearly the reaction is positive. Emily Cohn, she leads Bloomberg consumer coverage, joins us now. Emily, what do we know about Greg, and why would this be such a positive thing for Kroger?
Thanks, Annie. Yeah, Greg was once called the greatest retailer on the planet by Walmart's former CEO, Doug McMillon. He's known as an operator. He's known as someone who really gets grocery and retail. He is the person who was in charge of Walmart US during the mid-2010s when Walmart's really started to prioritize making the stores feel cleaner and friendlier, and the groceries got better. A lot of the things that Walmart is really benefiting from right now, as we see a lot of growth there, especially from higher income households who are shopping at Walmart.
Can he really do this at Kroger? Because Walmart is a different kind of store, right? I mean, we were talking today about the fact that Kroger is apparently the biggest grocery chain in America. And I thought, well, Walmart's bigger. And someone said, but that's not the same thing.
That was me.
Okay, there you go.
I think you nailed it. When you think of Walmart, it's Walmart. Of course, they have their e-commerce business and their stores, but everything's Walmart. Kroger is a chain of many chains.
At Walmart, you can get a bicycle, a bow and arrow.
Kroger owns Ralph's. They own a lot of different grocery chains across the country. I think running, an umbrella of many businesses is probably a lot different than running one chain where everyone knows what Walmart is. It'll be interesting to see what he does.
Is there any outlook for more consolidation in this space post all the Albertson kerfuffle, new administration, maybe easier to get some of that through? Right. Are we expecting anything?
Right. It's a good question. We know that Kroger was trying to do that with its acquisition of Albertsons. Obviously, that didn't work, and then they lost their CEO. But it does. You raise a good point. It does sort of indicate what this chain might be looking to do. I don't know what their plans are.
By the way, Kroger. I grew up near Kroger because I'm from Columbus, Ohio, thankfully. But then I had to move here for work. And there's no Kroger here. I noticed there's also no Walmart. Is there something about New York City that these successful national chains just want to avoid?
It's true. I mean, I think both Kroger and Walmart really rely on large retail footprints, which is just nearly impossible here. The labor environment here in New York City is, of course, very different. But what you do see now, and I see it more and more, is that the doorsteps in my apartment building in New York City, you see Walmart delivery boxes. People can get Walmart deliveries as fast as they can get them from Amazon, and that's Walmart's new frontier. So maybe they don't need a big box in New York City, but they can deliver.
Right on. All right, Emily Cohn covers retail for us on the BN side. Coming up in the next hour, Kelly Coveley of Manning and Napier on risks to the labor market, and Edgewell CEO Rod Little following his company's latest earnings report.
tariffs, I think, are probably the first time in my career I've had to deal with like a fundamental change in government policy in terms of how we think about how markets work.
The challenge, especially within my supply chain, is now how do you have enough productivity initiatives to offset the increased cost of all the product?
Can you just move your supply chain out of China and into the US or out of Mexico and up to Canada? Is it that easy?
It's not that easy, but we do have flexibility. And we had been, prior to tariffs, prior to any of this, we had been on a journey to diversify our footprint out of China. So probably 2-ish years ago, roughly 65% of our toy and game volume was coming from China. Today, as we entered into 2025, that was around 50%. All we've done is really accelerate the path to get down to roughly, call it 30% by the time we enter into 2027. For us, I mean, if tariffs stay, if tariffs go, it's never good to have so much of your manufacturing base centered on one geography. We think the diversification is good, but it does take a bit of time to get vendors and suppliers up to speed. Quality is a big deal, especially when you're dealing with toys and kids. It's not an instantaneous thing, but it's not also a 5-year, have to build a new plant from scratch.
Middle East and Africa, vibrant resources and high-yield investment opportunities abound. Join me on Horizons Middle East and Africa for the stories, newsmakers, and insight from this exciting region. Now weekdays, only on Bloomberg.
U.S. jobs numbers are released. Bloomberg has the report under surveillance with crucial data and expert analysis at terminal speed. Nobody covers Jobs Day like Bloomberg.
CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The Jeffrey Epstein scandal is front and center today on both sides of the Atlantic. First, to the UK. King Charles heckled at an appearance after British police announced they were examining claims the former Prince Andrew sent confidential trade reports to the convicted sex offender. The BBC's Nick Johnson.
Just ahead of Prince William's official visit to Saudi Arabia, the Kensington Palace spokesperson released a statement saying, "I can confirm the Prince and Princess have been deeply concerned by the continuing revelations. Their thoughts remain focused on the victims."
Now to Washington, where imprisoned Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell is expected to plead the Fifth when she appears virtually before lawmakers investigating the Epstein case. Some will be getting a closer look at the records today. Correspondent Scott McFarlane.
Under the law that required the Department of Justice to release Epstein case files, members of Congress can go into the Department of Justice headquarters to view the entirety of the records, including the millions of pages that were not publicly released and those that have been redacted. We know at least one U.S. House member, the ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee, says he'll be there when the doors open today.
That's Maryland Democrat Jamie Raskin. Prayers for Nancy Guthrie more than a week after she was kidnapped.
We pray for Nancy's rescue. We pray for her release. We pray that she would be brought safely home.
The Reverend John Tittle during Sunday services at Guthrie's church in Tucson. With a second ransom deadline coming up later today, investigators need all the help they can get. Correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti is in Tucson.
Billboards have been popping up in neighboring states with Nancy Guthrie's details and a phone number for the FBI. The FBI continues to call on the public for their help, 520-882-7463.
There won't be much learning going on today for some kids in Northern California.
ጣና ማቋሚያ አለ አይደለ? ከሱ ጋር ጣና ወደ ቀኝ ስታጠፊ እሱ ወደ ቀኝ ሳታጠፊ ወደ ግራ አካባቢ መደዳውን መደዳውና ያሉበት ቤት ነው አይደለም? መደዳውን ናቸው አይደል? ሽቦ በቃ በቆርቆሮ ቤት በቃ ብዛት እንጃ ትዝ አይለኝም። ብቻ አንዱ ንስር ወደ 3000 ምናምን ብር ወይ 4000 ብር እና ምን ጨመረበት? ምን ሆነ ታዲያ? እኔ አንቺ የማስታወስ ችሎታ ግን በጣም ነው የሚያመው። ብቻ እንደዛ ነበረ። ስድስት ሜትር ነው የሚዘረጋው አንዱ። ሰፋ እያረጉ ወጠር እያረጉ ይዘርጉታል። አይ እንደዚህ ብሎ ነገር የለም ባክሽ። እዛ አንድ ጥቅል ነው ለ6 ሜትር ነው በቃ ሌላ ምንም ታሪክ የለውም።
ምክንያቱም የሴት ቀን ይሰጣልና ደሞዝ
CYN should be opening in any second now. There we go. There's more here.
I feel like this could be the...
It's not gonna get filled. Bro, it's not letting me out. It's not letting me out. I'm Josh. I'm going into my senior year at UC Berkeley, where I study economics, and I am joining the firm for my senior year internship here at S&B Capital.
Okay, so we're setting the context here because there's a specific type of trade that a lot of traders on our desk will make in this sort of environment, but you really need to have everything lined up. And it's a trade that is on the board over there called gap. It's a gap trade. You need to understand the setup where this is going to work exceptionally well, because otherwise you're subjecting yourself to all sorts of things that you can't control. If you put this on in the wrong environment, you put the gap trade on in the wrong environment, you are likely to be very frustrated very, very quickly. If you put it on in the right environment, you can get rewarded much bigger than you expect. Let's get into some of the individual names that we are looking at today, because this still is an environment that individual names are showing much better results than anything else. SMCI, please.
Yes.
On the chart.
We had two really, really clean, sustained legs, and then it actually pulled in quite a bit. Yeah, quite a bit in comparison to NVIDIA, which was obviously the sector leader yesterday, running to all-time highs. But the daily range is clean, 47.80. That's a big level. If we can hold under that, like 30 minutes off the open, and then break through on high volume, sustain price over it, I think that's probably a pretty good trade. This could be two completely separate trades. It might not be the highest EV to think of these trades as sequential rather than just two separate trades. So you're playing like a momentum opening drive kind of play, high sustained volume, holding prior bar lows, minimal pullback. You know, you want it to be kind of hard to add on some sort of 9 EMA. You don't really want to see it pull back all the way to view up before 10, 10:30. You know, you want it to be sustained in volume.
When we go through the internship, different teams get to find things that they're really excited about that occur during the trading day. They get to pursue that in the form of a special project. Each team will compete at the end to present their special project and really pick apart the edges that they saw within that area of focus for them. Start thinking about things that you're super interested in. I know this company is really toxic. It's likely a matter of time before they drop an offering.
Yeah, super interesting.
Okay, so who's interested in that? Raise your hands. Use resources at the firm to try and figure out if this is possible.
You're trying to get on the project.
Tough, so
Let's go.
It's kind of
Colorado, who is it, Eric? Let's go, Eric. I think the meeting was very
Salam people, I'm back. በቃ ያልኩት እኔ ነኝ።